What is going on, everybody? It's Leo here with the Cohen Group Northwest, and this video is about getting ready to sell your home and how to approach selling your home in a shifting market. So, as a seller over the past 2 or 3 years, actually, really 7 or 8 years in Bellingham, you've kind of been on the gravy train. You've been in a position, a seller's market, where there are more buyers than there are homes for sale, obviously, but such a big imbalance that it has typically led to multiple offers, you not needing to make concessions, pre-inspections versus inspections, all of these different sacrifices that buyers have had to make, but not sellers. Now, we're not completely back to a balanced market. In fact, we're not really close with inventory, but the way that the market is behaving is like a balanced market. It was such a quick shift from the last couple of years that we're now in a place where the sellers are now needing to be the most prepared that they've ever been. And so one of the things I wanted to do in this video is talk a little bit more about what I do to guide sellers in any market, right? Because it's not just about supply and demand, it's about seasonality, it's about rates, it's about specific neighborhoods, it's about the condition of your house, it's about payments. There's so many things to look at and balance out between quantitative data and qualitative data. So first thing we do, quantitative data analysis. We're looking at comps, obviously, getting a good idea of accurately within the last 30 to 60 days, because now all of a sudden 60, 90, 180 days is not really relevant. So we need to look at what the most recent change is because of the huge impact that increased inventory and increased rates have on your ability to sell, the days on market, right? So having a proper expectation on the price range that we think conservatively your house will sell, and then its relation to days on market, its relation to other homes in that specific neighborhood, the time of year, seasonality as the market gets a little bit more balanced becomes even more important. During the COVID market, seasonality didn't really matter. There was just low inventory and a lot of buyers, just a little bit less buyers in the winter and in the fall. Now there's less buyers, more inventory, and so all of a sudden the seasonality does impact. So all of these things matter. So I'm sitting down with a seller, we're looking at their specific neighborhood, the price range, then adjusting based on condition. Maybe we're going and touring a house that's down the street that's similar, that's sold, or just getting a good idea of where we think this, like really, really honestly, brutally honest, be honest with yourself as the seller. This other house is the same floor plan, but it's way nicer than my house. Just be honest about that. The more honest, even the more you tip on the side of being conservative, the better result you're going to have. So there's a lot of nuances that go into prepping to sell. Now, there's a spectrum of what you can do to improve the value and what's economically feasible. So we'll go through what to do, but the people that are winning are putting their house in the best possible shape and condition that it can be in, pricing it the best it possibly can be on the market in comparison to what specifically their competition right now, trying to emulate as much as possible the scenarios of previous sales. What happened? What worked well? Was it luck? Maybe this will be a little bit of luck, but can we really focus on the things that we can control? Condition of the house, how we price it, how it shows, and how it's marketed. And marketing, just to kind of put a kibosh in this, marketing doesn't sell houses. So anybody that tells you that we spend the most on marketing, therefore we sell houses through our marketing, is not really looking at the true point of marketing. True point of marketing is to get the most eyes on it if possible. If you do the best job humanly possible to market the house, you price it really well, and you market it really, really well, you're going to have a good result. You're just going to have the most amount of people that could potentially turn into buyers, but you still need a professional. This is the key. You still need a professional that can convert. Someone that's going to follow up, objection handle, find out why are these people not writing offers, or what did they like, what did they not like about the house, and then coming back to you and being directly honest with you, not telling you what you want to hear, telling you what you need to hear. So that's kind of part of it. We have a nice little link here that I'll be obviously sharing with you on what you can do to prepare to sell, and there's a huge spectrum. It just depends on your current situation. There's all of these different pieces that go into how we determine how to position your home in the market. So this is on this prepping or selling your home page. And then there's how we sell your home. So one of the things that's really important that I kind of touched on that I think is more relevant than it ever has been. We talked about inventory, interest rates, buyer pool, seasonality, all of these things, hiring professional, all these things are adding up, the condition of your house. Now, the new thing that has become even more, I think, important, partially because it does actually make a big financial impact, but also because I think the media really hypes up how big of an impact it does make. It does affect your buying power, but just remember, you're not stuck. A buyer is not stuck in their payment for 30 years. Technically, the contract says 30 years, but majority of people refinance or sell within 5 to 7 years. So just a reminder of that. So one of the things that we've also been doing is trying to look at your house from the perspective of a prospective buyer. And one of the ways that we've been doing that with the help of Dylan Lange, who's the branch manager, and Nick Borg and Lindsay Reimer over at Evergreen now, is just looking at the payment, what it looks like for a potential buyer to pay to pick up this property, what their payment's likely going to be. So trying to give those scenarios up front so that we can understand better as the seller or the listing agent, holy crap, this is pretty expensive to buy this house when it should be, maybe if we dropped it, $10,000, it could make a big difference. Or maybe we offer a rate buy down or a rate lock, which they now have seller rate lock programs. But maybe we offer that up front, get the rate locked done, and a credit towards a rate buy down on their closing costs. So there's lots of different ways to get this to be the most bite-sized, tackleable, if that's a word, take-down project that a buyer can take on. So we want to be the best on the market, the best priced, all of the information out there so it makes things move super smoothly, because it's not just about getting the best price, it's about getting the closing and getting the closing smoothly. So there's a lot of different things that go into that. I think I've gone through most of those, but as a seller, you need to be more prepared than you've ever been really in the last 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years. So prices are high for buyers, interest rates are high, competition is high for listings that are out there. And ultimately, we're going into seasonality. So all of these things matter. All the details matter. All the inches lead up to a successful sale. So this is why the last piece is it's important to hire a professional, right? As a seller, it is very important in this new market. Cheaper is not always better. The majority of the time, hiring somebody that's been in this too long is not necessarily the answer, but finding somebody that has the finger on the pulse of what's going on in this market to help guide you pre-listing to position your home the best in this market to sell. Don't forget, homes are still selling. Days on market have gone up to a normal number, but homes are still selling. Buyers are still buying. The economy has not stopped. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to be a resource. There are no dumb questions, and I'm happy to meet for coffee, beer, lunch, whatever it may be, or just have a phone conversation around what your concerns are, what we think your home would sell for, how to position it the best it could be, when's the best time of year to list as these things become a little bit more touch and go, and what information we need to really make sure we have ahead of listing in order for this to be a successful sale. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will be continuing to make more videos.